Hello and welcome back to first round feature card coverage. We've got the back 12 here from Santa Cruz and De La Viega Disc Golf Course. BigSexy commentary here with you, Nate Sexton and Jeremy Koling.
We're on the infamous, whatever you want to call De La Viega course. Paul McBeth is a surprisingly slow start. Ricky's plugging away getting some birdies, as is Drew, and our amateur turned pro Zoltan having some struggles in the front nine, but you know, De La Viega, she's a tricky beast.
And how about that headshot for Zoltan, man? He's classing up the joint.
You don't see many fedoras in disc golf.
That was nice. Nico will bring one out, but he's sadly absent from this tournament. I haven't seen the guy. Hole 13, par 3, 333 feet. They call this one the kitchen. You're throwing over a very, very deep ravine, and then as soon as you clear these trees, clearly your disc is going to be 35 feet high, but somehow it's supposed to go straight down and land right on the pin.
And Drew going with the Spike Heiser play that kind of opened up beginning of last year's De La or Masters Cup as a tree fell down sometime between the 2016 and 2017 events.
That wasn't bad. He's probably 40 to 45 feet.
Mm-hmm. And this is a very tricky hole. I mean, you're going completely blind here. Obviously, we're in California. We're in Santa Cruz. We're at De La Viega. 2 meters is in effect. And you can just see right there. Whoa. Oh, my gosh. Look at that backstop with the backspin. There are about 7 million trees between you and the basket that can catch your disc.
Yes.
So finding a way to navigate through all of them without hitting anything, like Paul was unable to do there.
He might be pretty far down.
Yeah.
It looks like it made it to the ground at least, but Zoltan, is this early? Yes. That's near the refrigerator. We're looking at Zoltan. He's going tomahawk. It didn't make a whole lot of progress.
And he's going tomahawk again?
That one was fantastic.
Yeah, he's up, I'd say, near the green. Oh, yeah, probably right on circle's edge.
Here is Paul. Tricky little shot. Uh-oh, he doesn't like it.
And that is not on circle's edge. Not outside his range, but that's difficult. And Drew, who's birdied the last 2 holes, almost gets the turkey there with a big-time bonus putt with an awkward stance, having to step out to the right, but then throw a weird loft putt. And Paul is just not getting things going.
No, he can't believe it.
I can't believe it. This is a tournament that Paul's won 5 out of the last 6 years. Last year, he started off with a 15 under course record with 2 4s, 17 2s out of 24 holes at De La Viega. I mean, that's just unheard of, and this is just not. This is the antithesis.
Well done.
Thank you.
Double bogey there for Zoltan.
Moving to 8 over, and he's got to right the ship.
He does, for sure. Great birdie from Ricky. He is really on fire right now. Hole 14, par 3, 550 feet. You heard that right, 550 and par 3. Many, many trees. You've got to throw kind of a low, fast driver, ideally, and take a couple skips to get in here to where you can make a layup that doesn't feel super, super tough. You could go cut roller, but I don't really think we're going to see these guys take that big of a risk.
Yeah, 550 par 3. Well, surely there's a route to the pin that's easily accessible, right? Because it's nope.
That's the best drive right there, though. That is so good.
Yeah, that's everything you'd want and more. I'd say 80 feet away puts him in the 1% drives of all pros who play this hole.
Yes. And Drew, if he can get under these trees, got a chance to really skip big. Oh, and that's still fine. Yeah. He's loving that.
Anything down this hill to the left, again, there's so many treacherous trenches in De La, and that is one of the most treacherous.
Yes.
And you can just see it's so thick. You can get down there pretty easily. You cannot get back up.
Oh, man, this is
cooked. Oh, just wanted to see that thing fly without hitting anything. That could have been huge.
Yes, flipped it up to flat just at the perfect time.
And without any surprise to anyone who's played this course, this is the highest handicap on the course at 3.63, which is actually, considering this hole is truly a par 4, they actually did label it one time a par 4, and that was the 2011 World Championships.
Okay.
I mean, it's a par 4. Like, I understand the Cali mentality and things and calling everything par 3, but this is a par 4. It takes 2 shots to get there, and if you get a 2 on it, it feels like the best eagle you've ever had.
Yeah.
But 3.63 pretty much shows you why it's a pretty good par 4. It's an easy par 4.
Really, yeah. Just because it's a little bit short.
Right.
And because these guys throw so far, they're messing up the average by jump putting up to right next to the post.
Right. And there is a pin position that's like about 50 feet further that would maybe solidify being a par 4, but I think they just choose to use this one because it's what they've always had. It's what we've always used here at the Masters Cup.
They do a good job of keeping that consistent. There's not a lot of experimentation going on. Every year you come back and the baskets are where they go.
Yep.
I like that.
The only thing that really changes, nice putt there from Zoltan. The only thing that really ever changes with this course is just it's so old. So many people play it, so trees fall down. And
but they plant new ones as well, so that's kind of your changes. Good par there. That, again, should be more of a
exclamation
emphatic par.
Yeah. That's a party par. Like, the word par should be shaking and, like, flashing different colors.
Was that all threes for the group?
Yeah, I believe it was, actually. That's an incredible par frame.
Pretty great.
Star par.
Hole 15, par 3, 363 feet uphill through a very, very tight gap. You have to go through there and keep the disc super, super low, navigate through all these trees. One of the absolute toughest 2s on the course. There's also over-the-top options, but you're really bringing that 2 meter into play when you make that choice.
I think hole 4 and hole I-5, those 2 holes, you don't really expect to get a 2. So they kind of play like par 4s in the way that you approach it. This is the hardest of the par 3s that you think, I could get a birdie here.
Yeah.
But this is the 3rd hardest hole in the course according to scoring average. But I'd say it's the hardest actual true par 3 that you can get.
I remember back when I used to think I could get a birdie on this hole.
Yeah, and then you played it 12 times.
Yeah.
Or 12 years.
I'm sure I've probably birdied it before, but I don't try that hard for it anymore. Oh no.
And that was the line to get there, folks. He would have had no difficulty in the distance and the line, but man.
That's going to be trouble. That kick goes straight downhill.
I'm going to say bogey at best from there. And this is a safe play here. The big Anheuser sidearm, I've also seen that shot thrown as a roller, a flick roller over the top. That'll get you up there, but really takes you really can't get the distance unless you have superhuman, like Alex Geisinger, sidearm strength.
Yeah, you got to go underneath to get all the way to the pin, I think. And Ricky with that underneath sidearm, that's an interesting play. Drew first up, and that's not great. He's going to have a tough putt to get his par.
Do you not throw the underneath sidearm?
I go over top with the sidearm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Paul with a nice recovery shot, but that really is about as good as you can do. He's still looking at bogey at best. I mean, he could pull some sort of highlight putt out, but there's a lot of trees between him and the basket.
Ricky content to just take a 3, smartly done. And with the big drive of the group.
Yeah. That's got to feel nice every once in a while. I'm sure he'd like to have that thing hold the turn a little bit longer. You'd like with a big drive like that to give yourself a pretty easy tap-in 3 in this one.
Drew for the par. Oh, the tree says no, thank you.
Yep, and that's what Paul's going to be dealing with as well. It's just, well, he's got the low ceiling.
Up.
Yeah.
SloMez. Oh, no.
Wow, and McBeth is going to be over par once again on this round.
And this is a pretty late in the round to be looking at a positive number. You really don't want that.
Yeah.
The course does not finish easy, per se.
Speaking of positive, Zoltan's got 3-3 on 13-14, and
that's nice, man.
That's a really good step in the right direction.
Couple of bogeys. Hole 16, par 3, 339 feet. Nothing but trees in your face as you step to this tee pad. You've got to throw a low Anheuser backhand, probably with a driver that's going to kind of get nose down and drop below these limbs that are barely over Big Germ head height, and then slide up to the pin. The other play you can try, which I just randomly tried for the first time, is rip a forehand as hard as you can.
Yeah, I think the forehand is a really good option. I've seen Barsby do it successfully in the past. Ricky's going left side of the tree, and what that does is it really brings those trees that have the overhang on top of the basket out of play. And it looks like Ricky actually has a backdoor look at the pin. There's actually one...
Oh no, this is a disaster.
Gosh. Oh, I've never seen anyone go there.
He did not mean to put that much Anheuser on it. I promise you that. I don't know how far down that hill goes, but it's definitely far.
This shot looks really nice. I didn't see what he hit.
I think it just hit the one that everyone hits.
Yeah, that looked like he had the ceiling right. And if you look at this top line of trees, there's one tree that looks dead right there towards where Paul's flying. That just started developing recently, and before that...
Oh, 2 meters?
And that, look, I mean, he barely threw it right over the tops of those trees, and he still wasn't low enough.
Oh, that's horrible luck.
And it looks like Zoltan has found his disc.
People are loving it. I couldn't really see where it went, but it must have been good.
And this is Paul for par. He doesn't make this. He's 2 over par.
Oh, no. And he's really got some bogeys now.
Well, that was the coolest aggressive thing I've ever seen, but that sucks to be 2 over par.
Yeah, absolutely.
Meanwhile...
And Rick just... That is great. That forehand work. He went around that giant dead tree.
Yep. And like I said, that brings in that backdoor play where you're not worried about the trees that are overhanging the basket.
Okay, I'm going to make some mental notes.
You're supposed to be doing commentary right now.
Well, I can do 2 things. That's the maximum number of things.
All right.
Paul going to take another bogey. What is this? 4 bogeys in the last 5 holes?
Yes, it is. Right, you are.
Hole 17, par 3, 435 feet. Another wide open hole, one of the very rare few that you get to try, but there are 2 trees here that are kind of newly planted, and they have those protectors that can block your shot. Also, this smaller pine is kind of blocking your view of the basket. A little bit of a slope behind the green, but really it's just a full crush on a fairway driver for a big thrower, or for a power forehand thrower, you can get there with a forehand as well.
And this is similar to hole 6 in the aspect that it's just wide open. It's a long distance to cover.
Oh, Rick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 435 on a dime.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
Wow, that is such a clean turnover. Just so smooth, right to the pin, dodge the tree. I like how it just sits here spinning next to the pin.
I mean, that's the thing that De La does. I think when you're feeling it, you can just put anything up in the air and it will work out. And when you're not feeling it, you could throw down the middle of the fairway and you'll hit a bird. And then the bird and your disc will both explode simultaneously.
Man, you saying that just made me realize that I've never been feeling it at De La. Yes. I've never had that time where I just throw it up there and it just works out.
I've had some rounds where I felt like I could do no wrong. And I might not throw a great shot, but I got a good result.
Sure.
And then the exact opposite can happen so quick out here.
Here's Zoltan, the big forehand.
Yeah, and that's, he's going to come up short. That's a big forehand. Only the longest throwing forehand players can reach this hole, I feel like. I see that you birdied this hole yesterday. Was that with the forehand?
Yeah, and it was like 10 feet away. It was probably the best forehand I've done on it.
That's incredible. And Paul with a really nice line. This is...
No, last tree that could have stopped him. But luckily, he spits through the good side. He's going to have an open putt, but it's a long putt.
That would be the only silver lining there. That was heading right towards the basket. And we're just kind of seeing what I was talking about there. I feel like there's just times when you could throw great shots and you don't get the result. And we're seeing that right now from from our former champion of this event.
Yeah, Drew is
A
still
reigning champion.
Yeah, definitely. Drew is still putting together a pretty good round here, not to be overshadowed by Wysocki just playing lights out right now. Paul for the birdie. Yes.
Yeah, that's mucho necesito.
That is so good. 52 feet.
Look, you can see he goes to the knees there and just finally.
Drew in for par. Ricky is just stalking a birdie here, but he has to just keep waiting. Threw it too close.
Sometimes when the raptor legs are going, you have to be patient.
Yeah, it's
before
tough
you
for
can kill the prey.
Dude, a hungry raptor, not a very patient animal. And there he comes. Swooping in, slam dunking.
Swooping, as raptors tend to do from the sky.
Swoop. They'll jump down with a nice, graceful swoop. Hole 18, par 3, 225. This is the gravity hole. That's the nickname. It is maybe not even 225, honestly. It's super short, but the hillside is so steep. The play is a backhand putter that goes left of this big pine with a split and takes a little anti-skip to the pin. There's really not a lot of other options that make sense. And you could go around and try to ace, though.
Oh, wow. Oh, ace run and a park job. That's
nice.
that's the 2 for 2 right there. If you can do both of those things, you're loving life. This is definitely an ace run. Paul is not playing for birdies right now.
Whoa.
If Paul was playing a nice round, I guarantee he would try to go left side of those trees and just slow it down. But that was straight at the pin.
Yeah, a little more height. Either one of them might have had it.
Yeah, not a doubt in my mind that was
These guys are all
intentional
trying
ace
to
run.
ace. Okay.
Well, why not?
Well, there's this birdieing thing that a lot of people are doing. And there's another wide one. Oh, no.
Okay.
That'll be a layup. See the average there, 2.52. Probably coming in, what, easiest hole?
It's tied with hole 8A as the easiest hole.
Okay. Sit.
Yeah.
Good.
Those roots do not let mini discs sit when they come in with hyzer lines. So that was a fortunate result there for Zoltan.
Here's Drew from about 30. Maybe a little closer. Nicely done.
Solid putt there.
And he moves to -4. I feel like tough to talk about how good he's playing because Ricky is kind of overshadowing him, but really he's playing great. Oh, man. What an up and down weird day. You don't see Paul playing like this too often. Yeah. He's still making those highlight plays, but so many...
And I believe somebody told me he shot 13 down in practice, and he was playing really well on the golf course as well. And he just felt really good coming into this event, especially after his nice win at Nick Hyde 2 weeks ago. And just a bit of a backtrack on the first round. But I mean, the thing about this course is even though he's 10 back of Ricky right now, that's not insurmountable.
No. There's a lot of golf to be played. Hole 19, par 3, 276. This one is a very unique hole in that it is a low ceiling, uphill tee shot, and a very hard right finishing downhill to the green. So you've got to throw anhyzer on your flippiest mid-range, super low, just barely beat the tree. Don't throw it too hard because if you go past the pin chain high, it's going to go 200 feet down a cliff.
I think of all the holes at Daylight that are unique, this might be the most unique. Never played anything like this anywhere else.
Never. Ricky just a little bit too tight. Drew a little too high and too tight. And those look like bad shots, but those are inches from perfection. Like you can't play it very wide around that tree and still get to the green.
The angle, the inside angle.
This is it.
Oh yeah, that's really nice. And if you can get past the anaconda,
that's great.
Yeah, anywhere near that tree, that's really, really good. And you see the Zoltan through. You can't really throw like super understable because you're going to cut out roll. You need to throw something that will turn immediately, but then stable out and get you that glide.
Yeah, you need the height. Whoa, skip. I think it's okay. This is a very, very difficult upshot from back there, though, because there's a lot of roots, and the green is maybe in the top 2 or 3 slopiest on the course. If it's coming in too fast, it gets away from you so quickly.
Oh, wow.
That's a great reaction, though.
Yeah, Drew calls for roll did not mean that realistically. That was the most sarcastic thing.
Oh, no. This is a huge error. Just came in with bad angle. He's probably going to be punished with an extra stroke. It could have been 2 extra strokes, though, had it rolled.
And this hole actually cost Ricky Wysocki the win at this tournament. A few years back, before the golf course was implemented, this was, we played De La Viega 3 times, and Ricky had a sizable lead and went down that mountain there. And if you start rolling down there, sayonara.
Yeah, definitely. Great birdie from Paul, though. He claws his way back to even yet again. Whoa, I was wrong. Isn't punished at all. Biggest putt of the day for Zoltan. Great save.
There's a good smile there. Ricky with a nice par there. Wasn't sure where that jump putt landed, but... Three pars and a birdie on hole 18. That's a pretty good score for the group.
Mm-hmm. Hole 20, par 3, 324 feet. This one is a gentle hyzer between the field goal gate of these 2 trees, and then you have to come in just before those 6 or 7 other pines, kind of straightening late, ideally. So you kind of want to play maybe like a medium stable mid-range, get that straightening as it goes through the gap, and take that skip right up the hard pan to the pin. I think it is past it, Paul. I think you're all right.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, it hits the tree, but it's still all the way to the pin.
Yep.
Fantastic. Too tight? Perfect.
Oh, not when you're a 2-time.
Perfect. I thought maybe a few things were going to go wrong. Turns out nothing did.
Yeah, the play isn't just a hyzer. It's the inside flip-up hyzer. And Drew just did not quite
There's a lot
commit.
of trees to hit. Does it go OB?
I think he stayed safe.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's close enough to the road that he might have to go sidearm or turnover over the road to get to the pin.
Do you throw a backhand here?
I do sometimes. Yesterday I threw a forehand.
Okay.
It sets up really nice for the forehand turnover, actually, which seems to be counterintuitive when you look at the hole, but it actually fits the hole pretty nice.
Whoa, Drew. Scaring the spectators. Give them a little warning.
Yeah.
You don't have to put the fear in them like that. Yeah, I was just asking because I've always thrown a backhand here. My forehand doesn't really play that shot. That's not my style, but I had a mid-range, and Simon came up to me in the round and was like, no forehand? And I was like, no, dude.
Yeah.
What are you even talking about?
Yeah.
But I'm glad to hear that you... I was going to say, I told him maybe Germ could do it, but I can't.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Ricky.
A couple nice birdies.
Ricky already putted just over the rim. When he's looking downhill at the basket, it's like... It's crazy. I don't know what I'm saying here, but something's crazy.
Nobody hits the bottom of the basket harder than Ricky on a downhill.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Drew taking his time, collecting that par. And there is a par for Zoltan. Time to climb the hill.
Got 4 holes left, and all up the hill and 1 down.
Yeah, hole 21 is a par 3, 399, playing 499.
Yeah, you can't get there unless you can throw 500 feet.
It is so far uphill over this tree, and then once you finally get up here, you've got to turn that corner and go up the very steepest part of the hill to try to reach the pin.
There's no way. I mean, you could see that hillside, but there's just no way to truly feel the experience of how far up the hill this thing is unless you just come out here and see it and walk it.
Oh, man, that is huge.
And if you try staring down a 30-foot putt on this hole, it feels like 50.
Yeah, definitely.
No one has ever missed a putt high on this basket in the history of time.
Yeah, I don't think I can even get it to 30 feet. It is so far.
What on earth are these guys doing making this look so easy?
They play that inside flip up, and I think it kind of cuts the corner. I got to start trying it, but it is so far. Here's a guy who could probably reach it on the wide line.
Yeah, that's a really nice looking shot as well. I mean,
Wow, those are 3 fantastic shots.
in all my years of Dela, I've never seen 3 better drives than those right there. That's phenomenal.
Tough day to be Zoltan, I think, after seeing those drives.
In forehand, I mean, there's just...
Oh, and that's not good. He's underneath the bottom of that tree. It's going to be hard to generate enough power to get up to the pin.
Oh, looks like he might have an opening here. Let's see.
Don't hyzer out.
Oh, it hyzered out. We have a spectator who liked that.
Paul, a little obstructed.
Yeah.
Too much stuff in the way.
Mm-hmm. Very similar line for Zoltan. I mean, you can see, yeah. There's no real way to get creative through that. And this is a bonus birdie if there ever was one.
Nice.
Yeah, he knew it was in and wanted to charge, but realized he was inside the circle, and that is not legal. So he took his time. And wow, what a great birdie to pick up. And I haven't really ever seen too many people closer than this.
I think in the group behind us, I'm 90% sure it was Seppo. He was like 4 feet.
I heard he had thrown an ace run.
I wouldn't say that. Well, I didn't actually see it land, but it was like, just 4 feet short of the pin.
Wow.
Ace run might be a bit generous unless it took a weird roll away, but incredible drive.
Yeah.
Hole 22, par 3, 280, but playing way longer than that. You're going steeply uphill, and the slope also breaks way down to the right. The play is either a very straight backhand right through where the drone is flying, or a forehand or a turnover through a gap farther to the left, trying to work the disc in late. See which one Ricky goes with. This is the turnover play. Uh-oh. That's a big problem. That's going to be a difficult save.
And Drew as well going to turnover play. Kind of surprised that down the middle gap seems so much more open. It's going to be an open look at it, but a very scary putt from 45, 50 feet.
Paul going with a rock.
Wow.
It's a big rock shot. That's nicely done.
Yeah. Great throw there.
And Ricky's 11 under.
Wow. That's a lot of under.
Yes. Can this skip? We will have to find out.
That looked like a great shot. To avoid that tree narrowly is what he needed to do. Where it finished, we'll have to wait and see, but...
Ooh, okay.
Quite a bit short, but we are talking about Ricky Wysocki. And...
Uh-oh, don't roll. Oh,
Oh.
I think he's pretty...
Oh.
Might have spoke too soon. Wow. Yeah, that looked like it was going to roll because it bounced off so high like that.
Mm-hmm.
This basket, notorious for that. You can end up going way, way down the hill.
Oof, Drew.
That also is in danger, but from his reaction, I think it must have sat.
Taking some courage to run that putt.
No way.
Yeah.
At least it sits down, but costly miss.
Just not quite the same sharp focus that we're used to seeing.
And Ricky has this for bogey. Doesn't look like there's too much in the way.
And that'll be his first bogey since hole 6.
Drew in for par. Paul settling for par after that errant putt. Hole 23, par 3, 354. Right down the spine here. There's big drop-offs on both sides. This is also often a pretty windy hole, so can be pretty tough. You can, if it's calm, you can probably get away with a mid-range, really hard thrown mid-range if you're me, maybe a smoothly thrown mid-range if you're Drew. If it's a little windier, you're probably going to need to go up to a fairway driver.
And I'm sure Drew is going with a mid-range. And starts it off left, just does not get that thing to drift right. I think that's about the starting point he'd like, but maybe just threw it with a bit too much hyzer, or maybe not high enough, but not the drive he was looking for there. And
oh, he's hating it.
yeah.
Turnover early. Stays on top at least, so he's not going to have bogeys. Unlikely, but whoa. That's a little bit high. At least it's flipping. That's really not bad. I was worried. And Ricky showing us how it's done. Oh, yeah. Great shot. Wow, aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look down at the scoreboard and you see Zoltan at plus 10, which obviously isn't good, but he was at plus 8 early.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he's really kind of righted the ship somewhere.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, he was... Yeah, fell into a groove, has made some nice putts for par, and looks like he'll have a good shot walking away with another par here, but... I mean, yeah, look at these scores. I mean, we're all over the board here.
Uh-huh.
We've got 20 stroke separation from Zoltan to Ricky, and and we got a NoMez here, folks.
Classic NoMez. Oh, it's just spinning right there on the edge.
And there's a wry smile. Yeah, it's a wry smile. You know, it sucks to have a day like this, clearly.
Yeah.
But you also, I feel like you have to embrace it and accept it. You know, and Paul's a champion for a reason. He's had rounds like this. We've all had rounds like this where it's just you're not playing up to what you expect, and you know, you can be mad about it, or you can just accept it and try your best, and that's what he's trying to do. It's just not working out. And
yeah, for sure.
You don't see spit outs and mock X's. The only time you can really ever spit through these chains is if you're right side like his putt was there, but still a really unfortunate break. And he's going to move to even for the round with 1 to go.
What a hole it is. Hole 24, par 3, 550 feet downhill. It's top of the world. You can see Monterey Bay in the background there. Downhill, obviously, the entire way. OB Road, a lot of trees to deal with. You can go huge backhand hyzer. You can go straight mid-range or putter. You can go big forehand hyzer.
And I'd say minus the safety issues that you have here with the parking lot on the left side. You'll often hear, parking lot!
Mm-hmm. Like right now.
Yeah, there you go. So Ricky's going over. Can he stay in bounds?
Skip back.
Oh, it's trying its best.
So
Does not come back in bounds. But minus that safety issue here, I don't know if there's one person who's ever played this hole that wouldn't put this hole on their Dream 18.
Yeah, it's a wonderful hole. But yeah, you're right. I mean, a glaring problem with it is the safety, but that's kind of the old school nature. You know, it's going over all kinds of other holes.
Right.
You wish that the part could be a little bit bigger or perhaps have a little more room, but obviously, if you isolate it for what it is, absolutely iconic, incredible hole to play.
Holes that could be in danger of a bad drive on top of the world. Holes 1,
this is
2.
Good right now. This is a good shot, but a little short. But yeah, you're right. 1, 2,
5, 6,
5, 6, 22, or whatever number it is.
So there's a lot.
Paul gonna go forehand destroyer. I think this looks actually really good.
Yeah, you want to start aiming at that power pole there. And
good little hit off that. Puts him in the circle right off the tree protector.
Yeah,
I gotta remember that. I need to hit that.
Yeah, no doubt. I thought that he was a little bit tight, and it wasn't until it hit that. So yeah, you'd like to be about.
Drew's got a lot left here for his par.
And Ricky, for his 11 under, he's gonna have to settle for 10. But that's incredibly
fantastic number.
What a hot start.
Drew, just off to the left. And he'll have to settle for a -4 today. All to get out of here under par.
Yeah, good finish after just a really surprisingly dismal round. But, you know, birdieing top of the world, great feeling. Great way to end your round, and hopefully that can kickstart something hot for round 2. And after Zoltan settled into his comfort level with the card, he's showed why he was the AM champion.
Yeah, for sure.
He played some really good par holes, and got out of there without too much damage at the on the back half.
Look at that, Ricky, 21 of 21 from circle 1.
Wow, that's how you do it. Incredible round.
That's all we've got for you guys. That is the first round of the Masters Cup. Let's take a check in with the leaderboard. Ricky at 10, Dylan, local guy, at 9, Philo at 8, Josh, and a host of other players at 7. Thank you guys for tuning in. There is a Santa Cruz kid rumbling down the hill. We will be back with another round from the De La Disc Golf course tomorrow, and then finishing up on the ball golf course. We will see you there.